really do anytime. I'm not sure if it's gonna come up on camera amidst all of the other farmy type noises, but this tree is absolutely abuzz with activity, which I'm really happy to see. Our honeybees are all up there collecting pollen, a little bit of nectar. This type of tree really is not the most ideal tree to have. They're invasive. This is a calorie pear. This was here when we bought our house. Eventually it's going to have to come down because of the way that it's growing. It's just gonna rot in the middle, and that's not gonna be good. But for right now, it's pretty. It's feeding the bees. And usually the first flower that we see when springtime comes are dandelions. And I asked the kids to leave them until this tree flowers because I want the bees to get, you know, everything they can. So they've got this. And they also have stuff like this. This is purple dead nettle. There's a whole bunch of that around. So we can collect the dandelions for some dandelion jelly now. Do you guys want to collect dandelions?
So much. That's not a sunflower. It's not a sunflower. Whatever they're called. I forget what they're called.
That's a dandelion.
Dandelion. I'm so good at forgetting those. Why are they called dandelion?
You just pick the head and leave the stem, Billy.
Okay.
Good morning, girls. Is it alfalfa day? Yes, it is. It sure is. Hi, Chloe. I didn't bring any snacks, I'm sorry. But I'll go get your alfalfa. Yeah. Hi, little boy. How are you?
How old is he?
Buster's probably 7. Do you know what the camera means? You're a good boy. I know, they'll give you a treat. They will. Oh, are you gonna speak? Oh, are you gonna speak? Buster, speak. Speak. Oh, so close. Speak. Speak. Oh, so close.
He's so happy. Oh, yeah.
Does alfalfa look like a brassica when it seeds? Does anyone know? Look at all that. Oh, what is that? There's seedlings down here, and I wonder if they're alfalfa. Can you see those?
Yeah.
You got 2 of the same kind of thing? Oh, baby, you just stepped in a cow patty. At least you have shoes on.
I did too.
There's a term for this type of blossom.
That's weird. But they still work for the...
Oh yeah, those will still work. Because what we're gonna do is take off this green part and just steep the petals in a tea. Okay?
That's cool.
Maybe when you're done, you can feed the birds. They sound hungry.
Well, at least I'm good because I stepped in it also.
You did what?
I said I stepped in there also.
I know. We're not used to cow patties, are we?
I'm glad I had boots on.
Our neighbor's cows broke out of their fence a little while ago, and we still have some little cow patties hanging around. Thankfully, they did leave my hay alone. I'm actually quite surprised. That door was wide open and they could have really ransacked the alfalfa. They didn't. I don't know why.
They're being crazy.
Ready to go for a ride, Shindy?
Yeah.
Here we go. I hear some little voices. Okay, you guys are a mess. All right. Well, hey, babies. Hello. Clover, can we see the babies, please? I know yours are coming soon. Bearley's little twins. Last night was their first night out with the herd. I was watching them pretty closely on camera, making sure that they weren't getting lost. We do have a pretty big herd of big goats. You guys are definitely the smallest. I have been weighing them. They are growing really well. I can feel that her belly is nice and full. Mom is partaking of that alfalfa, so she's making some good milk. I have officially named this little girl. Officially, her name is Sage and Stone's Pretty Windy. We're calling her Winnie. She's so cute. She's got her daddy's super brown eyes. Havoc, our other buck, he has gold eyes. So we have a lot of gold and a lot of blue. But this brown is just Nefarious and Winnie right now. So pretty. I don't know if it's gonna come up on camera. It's really dark and gorgeous. Okay, I'll let you go play. Little brother has a home and a name too, but I won't be announcing his name on here. I'll let his family do that. Clover is due on Monday, the day that this posts is her due date. And I've noticed today, really in the last couple days, that she is starting to separate herself more from the herd than normal. Today, she's not really hanging out by the alfalfa. She does have an interest in these babies. Those are not yours. No, they probably can't even reach. Her udder's not huge, but it's doing things. She's starting to fill up here. She's got some good height. You know, I think she knows that she's close, huh? You're not in labor right now, though. I'm looking at her this way. So her rumen is on that side, and the kids really poke out on this side. It kind of looks like she's dropped some. See that? She's kind of got like a hollowing right here. You getting ready? I think at this point, she'd be fine to go like right now. Goats can deliver around 5-ish days early and everything work out fine. And we are right there today. So she's really due any time. Hey Tori, how are ya? You covered in alfalfa? Are you babies having a blast with my cart? Okay. Back up. Watch out, ma'am. Watch out. There you go. All right, we've made it to our homestead overflow shed. That is actually quite messy, so excuse that. But I have here a project that I worked on yesterday. So I've noticed in the last year or so that my hair has thinned out quite a lot. I blamed it on a few different things, and then I remembered / realized that our shampoo has something called SLS in it, sodium lauryl sulfate, and that's there because it helps the bubbles be more bubbly. But some people have linked the presence of SLS in their shampoo with hair loss. So I looked at our local store where we buy a lot of our stuff. It's just a local Amish store that really, they buy a lot of just refuse from grocery stores, and every single shampoo option that they have there has SLS in it. So I've made my own. These are shampoo bars. I put some rosemary essential oil in them because rosemary is supposed to help hair growth. And I just made these yesterday. It's time to unmold them. I'm probably fine to touch this with my bare hands at this point, but the lye is probably still a little bit active in them, which is one of the reasons for curing soap. The other reason is just to help it dry out a little bit. It'll last longer, but I can test this soap to see how lye active it is at this point by doing what's called the zap test, which is where you touch it with your tongue. And if you feel any kind of tingle, which I do, it's not super bad though, that means that you probably don't want to apply it to your skin. So curing will be a good thing for this soap. Now you can see that I have these really cute molds. The batter was really thick, so I doubt that any of these are going to come out perfectly. It was setting up super fast. But, whoop, they're gonna work just fine for me. One of the little things got stuck, but see? Soap. There we go. It made 11 bars and then a little bit. You can see here on my spoon. This is the excess. They have tallow in them, castor oil, olive oil, and coconut oil with the rosemary essential oil. They smell really good. So I may use them sooner than the 4 to 6 week curing time, but I need to wait until they're not zapping anymore, until they're not lye heavy anymore.
There's still more.
Yeah, we can leave some for the bees. This is probably plenty. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's heavy. They got a lot. So what we need to do at this point is take off the little green bits. I guess they could add kind of a bitterness to the jelly. Online, I saw people just bunching the flower in their hand and cutting off the end like that and calling it good. That seems pretty easy. People were also just using their fingers, but that seems a tiny bit fussy. So I'm gonna grab my scissors. They picked entirely too many flowers, but we're gonna do something fun with those. However, we're gonna double the recipe. I'll put the recipe in the description box below. And in both of these half-gallon jars, I put about 2 cups of like loosely packed petals. And we need to make a tea out of them. So what I'm gonna do, in each jar, I'm gonna put 6 cups of boiling water and then put a lid on them, let them cool down. And then I'm actually gonna put these in the refrigerator and let this tea steep for about 24 hours. You wanted it out of the colander? Well, that's it. That's all. There's nothing in there now. I put it over there. Goats are so picky. That's all right. It's my absolute favorite time of year. I feel like I say that every season for different reasons, but I really love it when we can let the boy goats out into the electric netting. They can mow my lawn and I get to see them in like an environment where they're just so happy, and that happiness is contagious. So as you can see, I made my jelly, but it did not turn out. It's more like a dandelion simple syrup. I'll walk through with you what I did, but this is what you're gonna get, I guess, if you do what I did. So I actually needed to steep the tea for a couple days instead of just 24 hours because I didn't have any pectin. But the first step to making the jelly is to actually strain the petals from the tea, which I did with a cheesecloth and a colander. You want to squeeze it good and tight to get all the goodness out. Recipes online tell you to put the pectin in the tea before you add the sugar. I did not do that in this order. So I had put the sugar in first and then brought it up to a boil and added the pectin. That might have been part of my issue. I did acidify with some lemon juice, and I actually added a little bit of turmeric for color. I've seen quite a few people suggest yellow food coloring for color. I didn't use yellow food coloring and it looks nice and yellow, but as you can see, it didn't set. And I am not amazing at jellies, as you can see. I've been doing pretty good with jams. One of the things about jams versus jellies, and this might not be true if you used like juice from a fruit. I'm not exactly sure where the natural pectin lies inside of the fruit, but usually we're making jams with whole fruits, and I don't use any pectin because fruit naturally has pectin in it. Some fruits have more pectin than others, and that pectin is what solidifies things. It's what creates the gelatinous nature of the jams and jellies. So what I'm used to doing is just macerating fruits down on the stove in some sugar and lemon juice, and then boiling it down until it gets thick enough, and then I jar it and can it, and it turns out awesome. Jelly is a little bit more of a tricky beast. However, this is not a loss. There are ways that you can fix issues like this. Sometimes pectin won't set if you don't cook it enough. Sometimes pectin won't set, or it will lose its effectiveness if you cook it too much. So I don't know exactly what went wrong here, so I'm not exactly sure how to remedy it, but this is not a waste. I can use this in so many things. I just restarted our kombucha. We can flavor our kombucha with this. We can flavor our kefir with this. I mean, it's essentially like it's a concentrated dandelion tea, so we can just add water and drink it as is. It is really delicious. It's not quite like honey. A lot of people compare the dandelion jelly to tasting like honey. To me, it tastes like a dandelion smells, which is really good, but it's not exactly honey. Anyways, I wanted to let you know that Clover did deliver early, and I did get it on video, so all is well. It was a little bit hectic at a certain point, but that video will come out soon.